Hello, Twitch. We are back. I am mostly awake. We will see how this goes. Luckily, I have... Wait, this is bugging me. That's what I forgot to do. Aha. My brain is fine now. Okay. Anyway, I'm the GM, and I'll do stuff later. Oh, right. NWoD in space. NWoD in space. Mixed splats. We're 6,000 years in the future. The Supernats are out, the Veil is down, and because of that, the government is trying to hunt them down and blow them up and all that good stuff, because on the upside, in the future, we have lost... There are no more of the... Most of the institutional isms and phobias are gone, except for two. Classism and hatred of Supernats. Because unfortunately, every society... Well, I mean, that's the ongoing question of the human condition. Do we need to hate things to be human? Or human adjacent, as is the case of many of our player characters. But, you know, we've known humanity itself could also be the monster since modern Knights NWoD, so that's not really a leap. But yes, any questions you have about the setting, please put them in the chat, and I will see if I can get to them at some point. And that is enough of my aimless brain fog chatter. Next, all right, let's go clockwise. Puka, who are you playing today?
Hello,
I have
I'm
players.
Oh.
Players are good.
I'm playing Sungrazer, a changeling smuggler with a caffeine problem.
Caffeine problem.
Caffeine problem. Caffeine situation.
It's all in how you accent it.
Stimulant addiction.
That's it.
We got it. There's a wonderful new array of stimulants in the future, because why the fuck not? In a rainbow, a cacophonic rainbow of colors that do interesting things when you mix them together. Anyway, clockwise, Zardoz, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Holiday, the lawyer who tries to keep everyone out of trouble.
Yeah.
We sure are in some trouble.
Surprise.
We have found a pickle.
Or did the pickle find you?
The pickle found us. It's not good. It's really not.
And Dracus, who are you playing today?
Playing Klaus, the resident asshole mage / medic. Also with a caffeine problem.
Well, it's not really a problem for Klaus. It's more of just, well, they're on a very specific medication schedule.
Yeah, and well, schedule is putting it loosely at this stage in their existence with a certain pesky AI in there.
For my part, out of character, in real life, I have overcaffeinated. It has not kicked in yet. We'll see what happens when it does. Woohoo! As for what happened last week, let's see if I can say it. Can anyone say it in fewer sentences than it would take me? Does anyone else remember what happened in game last week? I cheated and have the plot I wrote.
Oh, we were asked to go find a missing changeling priest and ended up in hijinks.
We broke into his apartment
Hijinks.
and found some weird shit, and then someone knocked on the door, which was not on its hinges, and now we're fighting that person.
Person might be a loose term.
To be fair, they started that fight.
They sure did. You tried your best to tell them that we didn't have anything useful for them there.
You're not, in fact, the homeowner of this particular domicile. Please leave.
You tried. It didn't work. Now we're fighting.
Okay. Yes, we ended game in the middle of combat, because it's going to take forever. So one thing, I had not read... So that the Huntsman was actually an NPC drop of a mimic salesman. I assumed, I believe it was, yes, Fadier meant a door-to-door salesman that was a mimic rather than a door-to-door salesman selling mimics. And we were already, Hedge adjacent, so I'm like, oh, okay, it's a huntsman. Why the fuck not? It fits. I then actually reread the chapter on huntsmen in the book, and I made a grievous error that I don't think I could have realized otherwise. Huntsmen do not take damage from cold iron.
Oh, well, that's an interesting pickle.
So, I believe someone did four ag damage with cold iron to them last week, with the
Yeah.
cold iron knuckles. I will let that stay, but we'll just say, who was it? Was it Holiday? Or, yeah.
Yes.
You just punched him extra hard.
Yeah.
And
Would
did some...
I be aware that the cold iron doesn't affect huntsmen?
Cold iron in the book, it says it does not affect huntsmen, and in fact, they use it as a means to capture changelings.
Oh, okay. Then going forward, I will not be using my cold iron knuckles, as I would know better.
That's fine. Or rather, it was once you punched it and it didn't do damage the way it was supposed to, that you're like, oh, this might be a huntsman.
Yeah.
Because obviously, when a man in a tan brown tweed business suit with a briefcase comes in offering a sales pitch, and then his face splits 4 ways and opens like he's a sandworm, yeah, that's not a mortal salesman. It's a little weird for a huntsman, but not impossible. These are basically creatures that recapture changelings for the true fae, but unlike privateers, which are other changelings, these are ostensibly hedge creatures, we think. But at least this one you can kill.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I mean, we're going to try.
We're gonna try. Alright, so, and I still have last week's initiative, which I wrote in pen. And so it goes, first goes the hunter, or huntsman, then Klaus, then Sungrazer, then Holiday.
Yes, I rolled great.
Okay.
I rolled well and then don't know how to be useful during the actual combat, just in the aftermath. Oh well.
You could draw my backup gun and shoot this thing in the face 6 or 7 times. It has a big face.
You know?
Big ugly face.
So
Full of teeth.
fun thing about Eden City is that it's an open carry kind of town. So basically everyone in the team had or has access to weapons most of the time. Because that's what's fun for me as a GM. What good is throwing a monster at you if you can't fight it? Oh, and that is, so, fun fact about our group is that they are officially Carve Tourism Limited, because they are a tourist agency that is a front for an underground railroad, which is part of how they get into these messes. Because either they're trying to help someone get away from evil or oppression, or because of those skill sets, they get shoved into other kinds of rescue. Anywho. Alright. I believe the hunter is still technically attacking Holiday the most. So he is gonna go for a bite attack.
Okay, my defense is 3.
Okay.
I don't remember what that does.
So he rolled a 19.
Whoa.
Yikes on trikes.
That's what you have a healer for.
Healer / necromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only going to work on one half of that job description today. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I roll defense now and try not to die.
Yes.
If I remember how the system works, okay.
Fantastic. Do that.
I rolled an 11.
Okay, so that's 2 versus 4. So this creature bites you for 2 lethal.
Okay.
Because you got 2 successes, it got 4. I feel comfortable using it in this circumstance.
That's fair. We're not sure what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Next in the initiative order is Klaus.
I should probably do something about the fact that one of my teammates just got injured.
Got bited with sharp pointy teeth. The
Oh,
teeth
and I do have a person behind me,
Oh,
so.
I'm like the only person on stream who wasn't freaked out by that last time because I actually noticed them walking in the room.
Yeah, that was funny. He moved and Merc was like, Dracus, your blanket's alive.
Well, it's NWoD. How could it not be alive?
Yeah, it's fine.
And if I wasn't running NWoD, I'd be running Changeling the Dreaming, and same happenstance. So anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
It's not that the teeth are very big, it's just that there's a lot of them.
Yeah. So it's still biting holiday, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't say he's grappled, because again, the teeth aren't very big, but he did get a chomp on him.
Okay. Then I think, because ultimately I want to, like, you know, undo the damage done, but I can't really do that if there are still teeth there. So I'm gonna hold my action until holiday is free, if that's all right.
Okay.
And maybe by the time I will have actually thought of a good way to accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Okay, will do. Alright, so Klaus is holding. Sungrazer. I keep trying to say Sunstar, and I'm sorry.
Or
Sungrazer.
Grazer for short. It's, you know. I'm just
Grazie.
gonna keep shooting at it with my trusty pistol, Henrietta.
Henrietta. Hooray.
Henrietta.
Alright,
Let me actually check my firearm stat.
that would be Dex and Firearms.
Yes.
Oh, so chat, this is an NWoD game. However, I wasn't going to force my players to buy and order physical stuff in the middle of a pandemic for the dozens and dozens of D10s you need to play most NWoD. So we've actually gone back to first ed NWoD and the Mind's Eye Theater system of adding all of your dots to one D10 roll. And then 10s explode. Which is awesome, except that if you roll a 1, you botch. So you have a 1 in 10 chance of botching. But that's how fun things happen. Fun for me.
Alright, rolling. 14.
Okay. This guy rolled... What did he roll? Oh, okay. He failed, so yay, he failed, the bitey monster thing failed to, you know, unlatch enough to dodge. So, what you said, you got a 14?
Yeah.
Okay, so, pow, 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 3 lethal. Now, is this a laser pistol or an ordnance? Okay.
Laser, yeah.
Zap, zap, zap. So that
Okay.
is, 14 is 3 successes. So successes start at an 8 and then go up by 3. So 8, 11, 14, 17. Yeah. So I'll say that is 3 lethal.
Hopefully it's looking a little worse for wear at this point.
He is a bit rough looking.
Okay.
Who knows how that ag damage happened? I don't.
Punched it really hard in its feelings.
You hurt his... Well, we'll have you make the occult roll after the combat. Okay. It's like, punched his feel... You're not entirely wrong. It's complicated. Huntsmen are complicated. Anyway, so next up is Holiday.
I'm going to drop the brass knuckles.
Or the cold iron knuckles.
Yeah, the cold iron knuckles, and pull my revolver out and shoot it in the body or region that attached to the head that's biting my arm.
Okay, I'll give you. Oh, remember, so chat, we use channel points for this rather than bits because we are not monetizing the stream for the time being. So why not? So PCs, you currently have 12 +1s for your rolls.
Just bringing this up because I'm bad with pistols.
So yeah, so chat, you can buy +1 for the GM or for the players with your channel points. You can also buy custom NPC drops for a bit more, which is how this happened in the first place.
We have
wonder
had
if
another
that was-
one in chat since we started
Yes.
playing.
Yeah,
Do,
so
do I get a benefit for him being within arm's reach?
I'll allow a +1 for that.
Okay. Oh, cool. I ate again on pistols, so.
Yay!
Let's see, that's 8 + 12 + 5, 17.
Awesome. 17. So you got 4 successes, and he got 1 success to dodge. So
Question. Do I count Sungrazer as a part of my freehold?
yeah. We have been a little sketchy on that. Well, technically, you are both Cosmic Court, so you can, but
Cool. Then I deal aggravated damage with my pistol because I'm defending a member of my freehold.
okay.
Hey.
Then we could just say you did that last game.
Well, I couldn't because I had the
Oh, you
knuckles
had the
on.
knuckles on. Okay.
They turn off my court abilities. So I don't know what the damage looks like, but I hope it's a lot.
So that means you do 3 ag.
Excellent.
Wait, tell me how this works. What is
Okay. The Cosmic Court 5 ability,
yes?
or the Mantle 5 ability is if you are defending a member of your freehold, you deal aggravated damage against people who are attempting to hurt them.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Since he's behind me and there's a huntsman that's probably going to kill him if it gets past me.
Yeah. Just because it hasn't hurt me yet
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
mean that it's not trying to.
Like huntsman. Well, we'll do that occult roll after the
Yeah, we'll
combat.
figure out what this thing is in a minute, but right now it's currently suffering.
Let's deal with the problem before we try to examine it. Okay.
Oh, and my pistol is extra loud, so people who are nearby heard it.
Again, is that laser or is it
Oh no,
ordnance?
this is an ordnance
Slugs.
gun. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like bullets aren't supposed to hurt this much.
Joke's on you, I brought magic bullets.
Woohoo! Well, I
Bullets of
mean,
honor.
you're Nova Court, so that effectively is being a magical weapon. Which is why, in Eden City, where there are all these Supernats, it's kind of stupid to say people can't carry weapons around, since a lot of people are outwardly walking weapons. They're like, we could split hairs, or we could just let things be, and yeah.
I think that's make people polite.
Mhm. All right, here, this entity is teetering. We are at the bottom of the second round. So, Klaus, do you know what you want to do?
Am I able to heal Holiday now?
Sure. It looks like it has unclenched as its mouth tentacle things are just going.
Ugh.
Things hurt. This must be what pain feels like.
Must be. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna see what lovely substances I have on my person and pick something that will a mild painkiller so that Holiday is not bleeding everywhere and struggling from getting bitten.
Okay. Roll intelligence and medicine. Standard or unopposed, I assume, unless Holiday has something that says he can't be healed.
No, I don't have any of those.
Okay. So we'll just say the number of successes you get is the number of. You're doing an injection.
Oh, I do inflict a knockdown on the huntsman since I don't have my knuckles on
Okay.
with my seeming.
Okay. I'm like brain fog. Just fuck it. Yes, and. Anyway, okay, so yeah, just roll, and I'll figure out how many damage you heal.
Cool. I can count. That is 14, so 3 successes.
Okay, I will say if you're healing 1 bashing per thing, then he's down to Holiday. You are now down to 1 bashing because Klaus just sort of syringed you up with something, and you feel so much better.
But I take it lethal, not bashing.
Yes, but 2 bashing is a lethal
Okay.
kind of White Wolf.
Okay, no problem.
Blah blah blah. White Wolf.
That's okay. I don't know how the damage system works with this game. It's the one thing I haven't looked at yet.
It's
It's a thing. That's
it's
okay.
a thing. Okay, and now the hunter go, or does the hunter go since you got knocked down, or what did you call it?
Gains the knocked down tilt.
Okay, we're not really using this. We'll say it's got a -1 to its. Well, it's got a whole lot of minuses to its roll with all the ag damage on it now. Okay,
Yeah, they gain the beaten down tilt. I don't know what that means.
we'll just say it's an additional -1.
Okay.
It is flailing on the ground, and is trying to strike whatever is in reach, and not doing a great job. It's attacking the door that y'all attacked last week, but you know that door was already down for the count.
The door has made a noble sacrifice.
No, the huntsman broke the door.
Oh no!
It totally wasn't us when we broke into the apartment.
Exactly.
We just found it like this.
Like I said, the huntsman broke the door.
Just the wonderfully ubiquitous TTRPG trope of party versus door. Okay, so Klaus, you're next.
Hit it with the door.
It's kind of on top of the door, but okay.
I don't think that's a thing of which I'm capable.
I mean, you're a matter mage, but depends on how much matter you have and how much we want to decode how your magic works. Yeah.
I have no brain cells for decoding how magic works right now.
Guys, or friends watching, friends in game, mage is hard.
Mage is hard. And I don't understand this system. And I have not had the time to learn it yet. Like, been trying, but there's so much.
It's a brick.
On the upside, and going further, if you want, we could just make your character rote-based, which is something a lot of cheese weasels of mage hate, but you aren't one of those cheese weasels. You are a whole different kind of cheese weasel. Well, no.
If you're a matter mage, can you wrap the door around it like a taco?
I don't think I'm strong enough in matter.
Well, does Klaus have any weapons? Aside from their sardonic wit?
Probably not, honestly.
We're gonna fix that here in about 20 minutes.
Okay. I have drugs. Could I poison this thing? Malicious medicine?
I mean, you could try. What would that roll be, I wonder?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
This will be fun.
Let me look at your sheet.
I'm gonna be like, go through my database and what I've got on my person, just going through my pockets, like...
Can you simulate rat poison? If so, please inject into Huntsman's body.
I could ask, like, does this thing have any, poison weaknesses?
Not that you're aware of, but you're also not really, Klaus may or may not be sure what they are fighting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask that out loud and, see if either of these other hooligans here with me know.
I'm still not sure what we're fighting in character.
Okay.
So
Poisoning it probably can't hurt.
Okay,
So it's like
we
the
will
end
try
of Reanimator.
this.
So it's going to be like the end of Reanimator.
You try to poison it. I'm gonna try to keep shooting it, and then hopefully one of those two things will, work out.
Okay. Klaus, since you're, I will say that, now roll int medicine.
Okay.
Actually, since you are trying to make contact with it, I would say this will be dex medicine.
Okay, that's not a terrible skill for me.
And then, we'll just see how much damage you hit it with.
You know, that's not a terrible roll. That's a pretty good roll. Let's see. It's 15, so 3 successes again. I'm doing okay.
Awesome. 3 successes. All right, fun fact, it was down to its last level of health that was just lethal. So Klaus takes out another syringe.
You have no idea where I'm
Quickly
getting all of these things. My pockets don't look big enough for this.
Worry
And,
about that tomorrow.
Klaus, actually, what you get killing blow. What does this look like? Klaus pulls out another syringe.
This one is glowing suspiciously. You know, it's probably a large dose of something that small doses might be okay. But, I jump in there, just plunge this thing in, and the thing starts spasming horribly. There's a little bit of like a hint of it glowing as the poison makes its way in. And then it's dead. And it's mildly terrifying.
I'm glad you keep track of which one of those syringes is which.
Oh, don't worry about it. I don't screw this up.
Yes, so
I don't
Note
blame
to
you for
self.
not trusting me, though.
the flailing mass of tentacles and teeth eventually twitches to a stop. And then as it lays, you're pretty sure dead on the floor, it's almost like it starts to dissolve.
I'll nudge it a
Oh.
little bit with my toe and it
I
dissolves a
will grab
little.
that briefcase before it dissolves.
Dissolves into it dissolves into this sort of like light green spores and some leaves that seem to be stirring with an air that you can't feel. They just sort of go.
Keeping distance from.
So the briefcase is a lot heavier than it looks. And there's a lot of clanking noises inside of it.
We didn't establish that this isn't a salesman who is a mimic carrying a briefcase, which is also a mimic. Could also be
Well,
possible.
Well,
We're
I
about to
didn't
find
say
out.
that explicitly. Either way.
Okay, well, I'm going to set the briefcase down inside the door.
Clank, 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 clank. It's very heavy.
And I'm going to. Orchard, you might want to send EMS to this location. You're probably getting a shots fired call.
Oh, yes, we are. Was that you?
Yes.
Thank you for checking in. I will send EMS, and they will get right on it.
Yeah.
What was the altercation about?
Some sort of a changeling hunter thing was knocking at the priest's door. We have dealt with the hunter. We are currently trying to ascertain why it was here.
Very well. Keep me posted. I'm still processing data to find the lost changeling.
Franklin
Gildar.
Gildar.
Mr. Gildar. I am still trying to locate Mr. Gildar after the digital blackout his neighborhood sustained when he was presumably captured or taken. I will get back to you. Ba-da-doo. So, changelings. Roll me
30.
something. Let me look at the character sheets.
Yay, clarity. It's my favorite thing.
Oh wait, do you have to roll clarity? Let me check the morality chart.
I would imagine.
What are the circumstances surrounding a clarity roll then?
They vary.
I think this would be an existential crisis to Changeling since it was a hunter.
Hmm.
So fun fact, you reach a clarity breaking point by killing humans, changelings, or fetches. But it doesn't seem like huntsmen count.
Even better. Then we
We
better
could
identify.
go on the technicality that you didn't kill it.
I mean, I don't feel great about it, but I feel less worse than I think I would have otherwise. So,
I mean, it does say casual or callous crime against other supernaturals, i.e. serial murder, but this was actual self-defense.
We did not start this fight.
It at any point could have decided no, and it kept going. So I believe there's an occult roll to figure out what this thing is.
Yes, so let me look at the, yes, that'd be intelligence and occult for both the changelings. Klaus, this is not necessarily something you as a Moros mage has had to deal with.
Yeah, I'm mildly disturbed by this. I have no idea what it is, and I figure that the people I'm here with will probably have a better chance of figuring it out than I will, so...
I got a 19 because I rolled a 10, and I'm pleased with myself.
Awesome.
Nice.
I got an 8, so I will defer to Holiday's knowledge on this one.
Okay,
you guys
so,
can't tell me, I'll look it up later, but...
So, Holiday, what did you say you got? 19?
19.
19, yeah. So that's 4 successes. And Sungrazer got... Stargazer. Oh my god. Sungrazer got 1. Okay, so based on the fact that the Cold Iron Knuckles didn't work the way they were supposed to, and we'll just... last game. This is probably a huntsman. They are... as far as changelings are aware, what happens is that they are some kind of hedge creature, not a hedge beast or a hobgoblin, but something else, that the True Fae basically force into their service by typically horrible means, and send them to hunt changelings. Every time Chris has screwed up that name. Oh, come on. Well, I mean, it's not like we get many other clips, so I say go for it.
A supercut.
Supercut. Supercut of all the times I'm saying which is half my
There's
games.
only 2 sessions to go through with Sungrazer so far.
So yes, so Sungrazer, what you know is that it's a huntsman. It came for probably a changeling. It could have been the one that you're looking for. It could have been any of you. Also, they do this awful horror movie thing where they don't stay dead. If you kill one, it won't bother you again for maybe a month or a moon cycle, but then they come back. They always come back.
Awesome,
So
and
that's
it's
fun.
Great.
looking for me.
Yes, Holiday, so it did seem to attack you most of
Well, no.
most of
When,
all.
last time when I opened the door, it said it was looking for me specifically.
And now that you think about it, before it disintegrated, it had one of those little, cloth bits in its breast pocket with an embroidery of a golden crown, which indicates to you which keeper owns it. So you remember a little bit more than your buddy. Oh, lots of bits. That's a lot of bits. Oh, and they're all animated. Thank you. Anyway.
Get to watch the
So
little scroll go by.
Sungrazer remembers the practical aspects of what huntsmen do and why they are annoying and can't be stopped and awful. You remember the why. It's because supposedly a true fae, in this case probably the monarch, has actually ripped its heart out and replaced it with its own with that true fae's own desires, which is hunt changelings when I tell you to. And these creatures, just as much as hobgoblins, can look like anything or anyone. And they have their own powers, and for whatever reason, despite being hedge creatures, you think, they are not vulnerable to cold iron the same way that changelings and true fae are.
Huh. Well, that's going to be an issue.
You also know that the true fae usually hides the heart of a huntsman in the dreams of a mortal. But that is needle in a haystack territory.
I'll get right on that one.
Yeah. Well, changelings can do oneromancy and dreamwalking and things like that, but it's sort of like, well, you've got a month. Or a moon cycle.
I'm not one of those changelings. Those are neither one of my particular skill suits.
I'm more of the run and hide type, otherwise I would try to help.
No, I'm going to put it in the ground the next time it shows up again.
But effectively, you will just keep putting it in the ground.
Maybe we'll eventually get to the point where we have a beer about this, then we try to kill each other. I don't think so, but you know.
There are stories of changelings getting huntsmen to stop by giving them their heart back. On the other hand, you could just destroy the heart and then you destroy the hunter. However, the true fae know when something they own is destroyed.
It's already looking for me and mad. It's not like it's going to get less mad when I break more of its toys.
To be lost is to be constantly hunted, and it sucks.
One crisis at a time.
My brain is running through my eidetic memory cycling again. Did I work for the Monarch? Is that my keeper?
You are trying to remember, and you're having trouble. The Monarch is definitely one of the big 5 Thurzas from the Tales of the War.
Okay.
It is effectively considers itself the ruler of all true fae. Whether or not the other true fae agree with that assessment, who knows? Because they are aliens and therefore make no sense.
Okay. Well.
But this is but the fact that you kind of saw the crown and instinctively felt, oh shit, I know what that means. You maybe had some connection to them. Maybe they were your keeper. Maybe your keeper was one of their servants. There's a lot of ways it could go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put that briefcase because I know EMS is coming. I'm going to set my pistol on the end table that's still there. It's like they're gonna want it for ballistics here in a minute. It's gonna be fine.
Well, what's weird is that the bullets have pretty much disappeared with the body.
Yeah, but there was still a gun fired in the close proximity. And it's like they're gonna ask. I'm gonna be like, here it is. And then I'm gonna Sungraze, unless you want to get real exposed to something real ugly, I would not pay attention to what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna open the briefcase.
Okay.
Are you sure?
That's why I said. That's why I gave you the opportunity to not look.
Roll initiative. No, I'm kidding. Luckily,
I'm gonna train my pistol on the briefcase as Holiday opens it, just in case.
I warned you about your clarity. I'm just saying.
You gotta like keep one eye open, like.
So Sungrazer, you are somewhat what the fuck. Holiday, because of your ridiculous role, you see basically. You see in some media those kind of nets made of metal? Usually there's something practical like steel and just very finely wrought into a net. This has some like cold iron ingots sort of, or bits kind of, so it's still light enough to throw, but this would definitely, what if a changeling got ensnared in what you're pretty sure is this huntsman's snare, they would not be able to just portal out of it. Because
I'm gonna have-
changelings have an amazing ability to just teleport out of danger unless there is cold iron binding them.
I'm gonna do the obvious question. Is the priest in the snare?
No.
Just thought I would hope beyond hope.
No, this snare is empty. But huntsmen have well, it's a little weird that so most huntsmen are described as having like a physical weapon that is separate from them and they take care of it, but apparently this guy's weapon was just his maw. You know, the hedge is infinite in its complexity and horror. We don't know.
If it works for you.
So all huntsmen have a weapon and a snare. So this is its snare.
Is there anything else in this briefcase?
There's also some cold iron manacles, which are probably more the clunking noise. Because the net itself is relatively lightweight. But these are some hardcore cold iron manacles.
Save those for later.
Ah.
Okay.
Relieved that there's nothing jumping out of the briefcase, I will holster my pistol.
I will close the briefcase again. Oh,
Now we have time to be concerned about why this thing came here.
it's looking for me.
You seem pretty sure of that.
I'm gonna call it an educated guess.
Okay. You don't think it has anything to do with the disappearance of this guy?
No, because if it had, we would already he would likely have been in the briefcase, or he would have been nearby.
Okay.
And it looks like the spot for this particular monster seems to have a place for everything and a thing for every place, and all of his manacles are in the right spot where they're supposed to be. He didn't have a prisoner nearby.
Okay.
I'm making the educated guess.
Changelings, I would like you to roll int occult again.
Ooh, I love this. This is great. Cool. I have a 17.
Okay. Sungrazer? You're gonna roll
These are
five.
not my highest stats.
Sungrazer, did you roll a 1?
No.
Okay. 'Cause fun
2
things
plus
happen.
1 plus 2. 2 int 1 occult, rolled a 2.
Victory for everyone.
All right. So Holiday, the thought of, oh yeah, you know, a huntsman is immune to cold iron, so they clap a changeling in cold iron and they can't portal away, and you're like, wait a minute, the doors and windows were all closed. There was no sign of exit. Maybe the person you're looking for got out of here through a hedge gate. Which you could pretty much just make as a changeling anywhere there is a doorway. On this side or on the hedge side.
Is there any way to figure that out by looking at the doors to figure out where one was opened?
Let me...
Because this is not my department.
Generally what you do is you roll your clarity, I believe, as a kenning roll.
Okie doke.
If I'm wrong about that, we will double check that for next week.
Okay. I will attempt to discern whether or not there's a hedge gate that has been opened recently.
Because they couldn't have just left kenning on the character sheet. Oh no.
Did I attempt to do this as well?
I believe you can, yeah.
Since
And my clarity? Let me check my clarity real quick too.
1 success.
I have 1, 2. I rolled a 14 because I rolled an 8.
Okay, it's not a huge apartment, so you kind of both reach out with your senses of the real versus the unreal versus the hedge, and you get a ping 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 when you sort of notice the bathroom door. So, fun fact, when someone creates a hedge gate, it lasts again for about a moon cycle before you have to spend glamour to open it again. As changelings, you could just open and go through.
Okay.
Or is it the seasonal cycle? Anyway, you've got some time.
Almost as much time as until the huntsman comes back.
Orchard.
Yes, this is Orchard.
We've located a hedge gate inside the resident's home. we are going to attempt to pursue to see if we can ascertain what has happened to said changeling. That is why we're not going to be here when EMS arrives.
Okay.
Probably.
I will keep up with that.
Okay.
I will inform EMS of the situation.
See, the thing that's exercising my mind is now, does whoever sent the huntsman know that we're looking for this priest?
Maybe.
Yeah, I was vaguely afraid that another huntsman had already been here, but I suppose that's not really an issue at this point.
I don't know if when they dissolve and go wherever they go, if they report back or anything. But
My concern primarily would be that if it had, the fight, you saw how violent our fight with the huntsman was. It would have been a lot more damage to the building and to the area getting the priest than what happened.
true. Less, I mean, there was less damage before we arrived than after we knocked the door in. So
Before the door had an unfortunate catastrophic event.
funny how that just
Still have no
happened.
explanation for the missing tables, but
I
I'm sure
suspect
that's a
there-
clue and I have no idea how to interpret it.
I'll open the hedge gate and see if there are tables on the other side.
Yeah, you see some broken tables. I dare say, Klaus, when Holiday opens the bathroom door, it is not a bathroom. It is a hedge gate. It's just what it is. It is a doorway
Seen
made
enough
of
of those at
vines
this
and green.
point.
Yeah, in this town, they're like all freaking all over the place.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Are those our missing tables?
I believe those are pieces of our missing tables, yes.
Pieces,
Great.
yes. And the greenery of the hedge, leaves, vines, thorns are already kind of starting to take them back. Like, this is ours now. Yum
Sure
yum
it
yum
is.
yum yum.
I don't want to fight the hedge for it. I really don't.
I mean,
No.
they're broken anyway. Yes, Vampiric, you had a hedge gates everywhere. Thank you for the GM +1.
So let's see where this hedge gate goes. This is a bad idea. Oh, you might, Klaus, you might want to text Petruchio and let him know that we're out of the office and probably will be for the rest of the day.
Got it. I will send Petruchio a message.
Bathroom turned into a hedge gate. Be back later.
It's a bathroom hedge gate this time. We're out for the day. Bye.
Wasn't our last hedge gate in a bathroom?
Well, yeah,
Yes,
but y'all came
I
out of
think
that
it
one.
was. I see a trend.
I mean, if you
One
can
of these
use
in the office.
any doorway, people
I'm
don't generally
absolutely-
watch the bathroom door. Well,
I'm
If you have
absolutely gonna
company
do this
coming
in the office
over,
next time I'm there.
you don't have time to clean. You just make the bathroom door into a hedge gate, and then you don't have to worry about it.
yep.
Don't tell Mark, but I'm absolutely doing this next time we're at the office. Or I'm sorry, don't tell Dune.
Are we going through that?
Oh yeah, we're not very bright. We're gonna engage the whatever this thing is.
Okay.
Okay. Changelings, you can make an into-cult roll if you want to think about hedge stuff.
Yay! Stuff in the hedge. I have a 7.
I have an 8. Yay!
Okay. Sungrazer, you've had to, since you're more the run and hide type, you've probably made a hedge door now and again to just get out of a mundane world problem. It's not like instant death. It's on one. So changelings are at a weird kind of balancing act in their own lives. On one hand, the hedge is sort of the buffer zone between y'all and Arcadia, which is where y'all were tortured and ripped asunder and put back together, sometimes literally. On the other hand, that trauma gives you a tie to the hedge, which also allows you to gain power from the hedge. And that is part of what the Church of the Weird is all about. which is why when they're like, well, he could have gone on a hedge walk, but usually you tell somebody. You don't just poof do that because, it's kind of dangerous. But it's like in most towns, that's where you get goblin fruit. That's also where the goblin markets are when you need to trade stuff and maybe go on quests to find parts of yourself that you've lost. As lost. So it's not like we go into the hedge, we will be instantly killed by the true fae, because it's like, no, this is the buffer zone. This is the neutral zone, etc. It is interesting.
That being said, I think we're not the ones who get to decide how neutral the neutral zone is at any given time. So
At this point, I will hand Klaus the iron knuckles. You're going to need these more than I do.
Okay.
If something happens.
Also, Holiday, if
Got
you use
it.
them, they can negate parts of your seeming and magicness.
Yeah. Well, no. It's the if something gets overly handsy, hit it with these and it'll stop real fast.
I've got permission to punch things.
Unless it's a
Handy.
huntsman.
Yeah.
I
If
get
it's
mouthy,
another one of
too.
those, run. It's probably not chasing you.
Well, what I just did last time worked.
I'm not disagreeing. However, that thing was immune to cold iron. Those knuckles will not help against that. Anything else in here?
Noted.
Probably not going to react real well to getting punched by cold iron knuckles.
Neutral zone, beware of decloaking birds. Don't tempt me. Unless you buy the NPC. I'm not saying you can't. Anyway.
there was still a coffee vampire with some.
Yes. Fadior bought the coffee vampire, and we will get to them in a bit. So, do y'all go through the hedge gate?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I'm with changelings. What could go wrong?
You've done this before, you think? All right. So
last time I got you out of the hedge gate.
Yeah.
So
I trust your sense of direction.
I wouldn't do that in here.
More than mine, at least.
So walking into the hedge is always an interesting sensory experience. You walk in through this hole full of brambles, and you end up more or less on a city street. If the city streets were paved on all sides with hedge and greenery, and every building you looked at, not just the decorative ones, all had more often than not have vines climbing up all of them. There are, Klaus, to you, this just looks like how the hedge always does, because Klaus never really went into the hedge until they got to Eden City. You walk in, and it's just this strong smell, if not a sense, of just damp, humid greenery, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, and sometimes glitter. You didn't know glitter had a smell, but it's there.
It sure does have a smell.
And just the smell of greenery and the sound of lost memories. And it's about this, it seems light-wise about the same time of day it was when you left, but you don't really see a sun. The sky isn't necessarily overcast. It is just slightly greenish tinged. But also somewhat refracted with rainbows. So those are fun. But you walk through this space where there are, colors, and there's asphalt and granite and the white marble-ish looking stone of the buildings that are standard for Eden architecture. They all just look a bit brighter. Even the grays. Or the grays just look more gray. The shadows are darker, the colors are brighter, more vibrant. It is a bit like I've been told taking LSD and getting just a little bit of an enhancement to your senses. Klaus, you probably know of a few substances that do something similar. It's interesting being in a place where you don't need to take it. Sungrazer and Holiday, I I will say it's safe to say that you have both been in the hedge in other parts of the galaxy. Because there is a hedge side to every place that has a human habitation, effectively, or a bulkhead, has a hedge. You can't necessarily cross through the hedge to get to another planet, because this, deep space is the abyss, or is so similar to the abyss that it is the abyss. Thank you, mages. And the hedge of one planet can't cross the bulkhead or the void of space into another. Some people claim that you can cross through Arcadia, but no one really wants to play with that idea. Who knows why? But, yeah, you know why. But, Sungrazer, no, one day I'll get your name right.
I'm sorry.
Sun and Hall, you walk into this hedge, and it is surprisingly tame and tidy, is the best way you can describe it.
Not good.
Possibly. It is oftentimes what happens is when a changeling is crossing from Arcadia back towards the mundane world, they will find pieces of themselves caught within the brambles of the hedge itself. And as changelings, you've seen those. They can look like wisps of smoke stuck on a thorn. They can look like items or artifacts or sentient creatures. And you just don't, well, you see some hedge beasts, but you don't really see any of that kind of flotsam and jetsam that you usually would. Because, I mean, that's part of one of the dangers of the hedge, is if the thorns get you, they take a piece of you. Even if you're already a changeling. But that is part of the breaking down process of humans into changelings. And by the time you're in Arcadia, you are a shell of your former self, and the gentry can do with that shell what they want.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Be very mindful of the thorns don't get pricked.
Klaus, from your point of view, you're standing, in a sidewalk, and there are some, thorny looking hedges that are just look very immaculately clipped and maintained, and you're like, you can avoid those. The heck? Why is that a problem?
I sense the two of you are on edge.
It's not unbelievable, no.
But yes, so you see next to this door, you see one of the broken tables. And then, weirdly, you see kind of a trail of splinters, kind of leading down the block.
I will follow the trail of splinters. Oh, I am
Looks like a lead to
looking
me.
out for any seeds or saplings that are just sitting around not doing anything.
Seeds or saplings? Of what sort?
Just hedge plants.
Well, there's still plenty of goblin fruit trees, although here they are kind of in the middle of the thorny hedges, but again, you can pretty easily just grab a fruit without touching them.
Well, no, for one of my contracts, if I have hedge seeds, I can activate it without spending any glamour.
Well, yeah, there's a tree of green apples, and those have seeds in them. So
Excellent. I will liberate some green apples.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can I just grab a couple fruit and pocket them
Oh yeah.
for later? You never know.
Basically, any changeling in this game effectively has I think it's called Hedge Bounty. You basically have it at 5, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
I'll get a couple of blue mangoes.
Here, Klaus, when we get back to safety, try one of these. This may set your senses off.
Klaus has had
Okay.
green apples before.
With the
Just
apartment,
put that away for later.
with the apartment, you said there was no evidence of a break-in of any kind, right?
Not as-
Everything was still sealed.
Yeah, not that you could see things. The door was locked, the windows were closed and locked from the inside.
But clearly there was some kind of scuffle because there's broken furniture
Yeah.
thrown through.
Was the inside of the door, the hedge gate door, was it messed up? So if you'd opened the door from this side, Was that side messed with at all? Like someone had used the hedge gate to come into his house that way,
That's what I was thinking.
locked and got their way into the locker room through that side of the chimney.
You didn't see any. Make an intelligence occult roll. Changelings. Sorry, Klaus.
I got a 6.
I'm along for the
Yeah, yeah.
ride.
10.
Okay. Sungrazer, you know that a changeling can basically spend a glamour and make a hedge gate anywhere there is a doorway, whether they're on this side or the mundane side of the hedge. So it wouldn't necessarily look broken into. It's not necessarily clear whether or not this was a hedge gate that the priest had all the time, or if it might have just been created by whoever came into his apartment and took him.
Hopefully
Or
not
did
all
he
the time.
escape? No one.
I assume he has to use his bathroom some of the time.
He just comes in here.
Well, you
Finds
can also decide when not to open your hedge gates to just use the bathroom.
But it seems more and more like some kind of Fey on Fey action. Changeling kidnapping
Possibly.
kind of thing.
That's a quick way to get Holiday angry.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, not a fan.
Well, let's follow those splinters.
Fey on Fey crime.
Dun,
Okay,
dun.
yeah. So the hedge, for all its neat and tidiness, does not always directly echo the streets on the other side of this mundane, but here it does. It's a little weird. You also see kiosks for Orchard that seem to be working, and you see, a changeling here and there checking their email.
I'll call the boss and see what she thinks. Orchard.
So you take out your cell phone, and you get the sight and sound of fractals in a rainbow pattern. You didn't know fractals had a sound, but apparently they do, and they unmistakably sound like fractals.
Amazing.
Sounds beautiful.
Like wood elves singing about math.
Math or meth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Both.
I will-
That's what fractals are.
I'll head over to the kiosk.
Yep, there's a free kiosk. This is Orchard. How can I help you?
Orchard, this is Holiday.
Hello, Holiday. How is the investigation going?
We've tracked the hedge gate. We found traces of some sort of criminal activity. There's a trail of broken splinters in this vicinity. Do you have a way to identify people who pass through here, pass by this kiosk with any sort of capability?
Unfortunately, my CCTV is less accurate on the hedge side.
But
And-
you have one.
Yes, I can check it now, but it is more susceptible to magical attack. Because we are in the hedge.
Fair. Are there any changelings that look like they spent a lot of time here? While she's checking, I'm looking around.
You're asking Orchard?
No, I'm visually looking around to see if it's like panhandlers or any people who look like they spend a lot of time around these kiosks.
There isn't a lot of panhandling in Eden City, in general. You do see some squirrels, sort of, they see the hedge fruits you got, and they're like, can I have a hedge fruit? Chirp, 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 chirp. But that's the closest thing you see to a panhandler. And it's like,
I'll get one squirrels and go.
and you see a few changelings. You see basically an ogre that's clearly dressed as a beat cop.
Excellent. Excellent. I will have a conversation with the squirrel.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll give a description of the priest. You see him come through here with anybody?
The squirrel will roll.
How long ago and which way did they go?
And you can't make out any of that unless you have a contract of understanding languages.
Let me see.
Just check. You have 18 dozen contracts, so see if one of them works. I'm sorry, Klaus's brother. I'm a mathematics librarian, so I like math jokes, the few I can understand, and I'm relentless.
The closest I have would be the royal court to for us to be friendly towards each other, but that's not going to help here.
However, the squirrel did clearly point in the same direction as the trail of splinters
Excellent.
that are
You
now
get
more
fruit.
vibrantly beige brown. Oh, what'd you give him?
I gave him one of the fruits I picked up.
It is a happy, happy squirrel.
Excellent.
That is somehow a very gray. So gray. The squirrels are true neutral, therefore the ultimate gray. At least the gray squirrels. The red squirrels and the black squirrels, that gets weird. Anyway. Hashtag New York City GM. Anyway. And it goes to share with some of its squirrel buddies. Because squirrels look out for each other. It's just
Very noble of them.
and they all like wave in unison.
And then back on the case.
Yep.
We keep following those splinters.
Oh, you did mention Ogre Beat Cop. I'm like,
Yeah, the ogre beat cop notices you talking to feeding squirrels, and he's just like shrugs. It's like he's just doing his beat cop.
Just making friends.
He is
Yeah.
in the opposite direction of the trail of splinters, though. Actually, no, because that happened a few nights ago. Okay, so yeah, so he's still in the general area. Just
hey, officer.
Yes. How can I help you?
Hey, we're investigating a kidnapping.
Oh shit.
Priest of the Weird lives nearby. Franklin Gildar.
I mean, I've heard of him. I don't
Yeah, I've
really
never-
do church stuff, but
Never met the guy before, but the other priest in town asked us to look into it, and they've led us here, and I'll point at the trail of splinters.
all right.
Just so if you hear gunshots or anything in the immediate vicinity, that's probably us.
All right. I'll call it in. I mean, are you PIs or just
We're concerned citizens. I'm a pull up my union badge.
okay,
The
what?
nice lady at the church asked us to look into it.
Okay. What holiday? What union are you in again?
I'm in the conservators union, I
Oh,
believe.
okay. Yeah, it's just all right. When did what was his name again?
Franklin Gildar.
When did Mr. Gildar go missing?
Was yesterday at some point, I believe. I don't remember the exact time.
Wednesday evening. It is Friday
When-
afternoon.
Wednesday evening, so it would have been a day and a half ago.
Okay, so all right, it hasn't hit 48 hours yet, so why I haven't been.
Yeah, that's why it hasn't gone out on a full bolo, because it's the church is nervous.
Yeah, I mean, well, the
They're
church.
busy.
Yeah, it's weird. I say weird. The church kind of does its own thing, even when members are because it's weird that members of his own court haven't gone looking for him yet. But if he was more Church of the Weird, then I mean, they don't have a big presence here.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep investigating this and see where it takes us. Just letting you know what's going on. You can update Orchard when you get a chance.
Okay.
Orchard's also involved in the investigation and is curious because there was an attack on her security system.
Oh,
Her CCTV system got hijacked on the other side.
on the others. Oh, that's bad. Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
And he basically out of his belt pulls a tin can with a piece of string that just sort of goes off into nothing, and he's like, "All right, we have some concerned citizens looking for," and he starts basically just talking into this tin can with a string on it, and you are
I love
hearing
that.
things back in that tin
I
can
love
with string.
that.
Does he hold it up to his ear like that?
Yeah, he's like, and yeah, and you also hear Orchard's voice on it, weirdly. The hedge is
Wild.
weird. Weird with a Y.
Bay magic. It's a trip.
Magic.
All right.
Jazz hands.
That's
Welcome to
good.
the Hedge.
We can get shot at by people.
So yeah, you hear the emergency services are now aware of this, and it's like, oh shit, Hedge stuff. Everyone keep your eyes open. So he's like, all right, just feel free to check in with any officers you see
Sure.
on either side, but I mean whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, whichever way this ends up turning out, we'll let you, as soon as we figure out where he is, we will let you know.
Awesome.
Because his congregation is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, do you think it was other loss, or think it was a huntsman, or?
No, that's my personal problem. That was earlier today.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
I got a month. We'll figure it out.
It's gonna be one of those days. All right. Thank you for telling us. Because
Oh, no problem.
he's still listening in on his tin can. You hear another voice come through that is clearly a kazoo, but he seems to understand it, and you're like, okay. Freaking Hedge.
Klaus, are you having fun in the hedge?
Oh, I'm having loads of fun.
Klaus is just vibing. It's like, hi, we good.
I'm just vibing.
You care for a blue mango from the goblin fruit tree?
It's not gonna fuck me up too much to function, right? I mean, nothing can fuck me up too much to function. Yeah, give me that shit.
I think the science is out on that one, but sure, go ahead.
I'm going to enjoy a blue mango.
Okay, Klaus, remember how you got to ignore your -1 penalty after doing all the caffeine last game? Because for some reason you were having all those weird dreams about alchemy, and the voice in your head is, your voice in your head, yep.
Yeah.
Dude, and the voice in your head is all min butt space. It's all like, do it, do it, do it, do it. Do you eat the mango?
This time, yes.
So that -1 penalty comes back. Because it's as the caffeine was sort of stimulating enough to kind of distract you from your mental problems, this is sort of more mellowing you out, but in a way that is not helpful towards the constant strange hangover pain in your head.
Right.
Which can strangely be best described as a hangover when you pointedly don't get those, like on purpose by design don't get hangovers. But
yeah, so I eat this, and
it tastes amazing.
It sure tastes good. I'm enjoying it for a moment, and then it's gone, and then the feeling.
It tastes like lost
really
love
hits.
and acorns.
I'm like,
acorns as
I'm
a
just
fruit.
Kind of melancholy.
Yeah. Like,
what the hell was that sungrazer?
It's just a blue mango.
They taste like acorns and lost love. They don't do that to changelings.
That sounds delicious, honestly.
I'm
not eating more strange fruit while I'm on a job.
Sorry about that.
I really
That's
need to make I have to make a randomized table
toss-up
for goblin fruit.
It's always a toss-up on what effects that's gonna have on a person.
Yep.
Usually risks I'm willing to take.
That's why I said do it in the safety and comfort of your own home, not in the middle of the hedge. But you do you.
I'm saving the apple for later.
Always eat blue food immediately, says the voice in your head. La, la,
Just
la,
kind of.
Sure. At least the voice in your head's not calling itself friend computer yet.
I mean, how can you say you've lived if you take no risks? Once in a while, eat a blue fruit.
Risks are more fun. Always take risks. If you see a stranger in the street, follow him.
Or if you see a trail of splinters on the street, follow it.
You're following the trail of said splinters.
Yes, follow it.
I'm just following you guys.
Says the voice in your head.
Klaus, can you even see the trail of splinters? I'm just curious.
No. Like, I like focus and yes, I can kind of see it.
Okay, just checking.
I'll just let that be a character choice. Because that's fine. You ate blue food in the hedge.
I ate blue food in the hedge, and I've got some other shit going on in my head. If I focus, I can see the trail of splinters.
Man, your first meeting with your mental health counselor is going to be amazing later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it will be, won't
you
it?
did set that up. Changelings know all about head voices. They think. Maybe.
Great. Yeah. Trail of splinters.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so it takes you down a few city streets, which almost, like, Klaus, this is just how the hedge is. It's like, oh yeah, it's just the exact same as the world we just left, just hedgy and vibrant and kind of woogey, because, yeah.
It's hedgy, you know?
Sun and Hall. This is a little eerie, to be honest, because often in the hedge, sort of, the three dimensions don't work the same way. You can be walking down a street that looks relatively similar to the mundane world, and then you are suddenly further away in what you can only call, like, the story, which takes you to a more wild area. Generally, the longer you walk in the hedge, the more likely you are to find yourself in something that no longer looks like Kansas.
Trying not to think about the unsettlingness of it, just focused on the splinters.
And it is all just meticulously clean and tidy and, like, well manicured. And you see, like, some changelings, like, basically trimming the hedge and keeping it neat and tidy. And you see another one kind of collecting stuff out of the hedge. Again, wisps of smoke, tablets of some kind, a few tin cans, and just sort of putting them in a bag and just continue. Like, changelings are actively cleaning stuff up.
Is this the kind of thing that, like, would be a Church of the Weird project? Something that the faithful would be doing?
Roll int occult or int politics, whichever is higher.
They are the same. 1 success.
Okay.
Do they look churchy?
They don't strike you as churchy. Holiday, are you rolling too?
Yeah, I am. I'm checking my numbers real quick. I rolled a 13.
Okay, so Sungrazer, you know that changelings do, like, tend to areas of the hedge and make it sort of their own, so that it's more reliable to their needs of getting goblin fruit or raising hedge beasts and things like that. Holiday, you realize the same, only you also realize this isn't just, like, I think they're in changeling they're referred to as hollows. So it's basically a stable part of the hedge that one or more changelings are actively upkeeping. Holiday, what you realize is this is kind of the whole neighborhood is a hollow, which is weird, not impossible, but strange.
It's unusual, yeah.
Furthermore, actually, we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, so it's strange that, like, so could the whole city be a hollow, or the whole of Market Town?
That's a conversation to have with some changeling elders when I get back to reality.
So it is now 8:30. So unfortunately, Sungrazer has to toddle off for another engagement. We might have a vampire drop in later. We'll see in the next. But it is time for our 10-minute break. So chat, feel free to. We'll get to the we'll get to the coffee vampire, and also Bruno Hamilton is still on the board. Because you didn't kill him.
I don't go out of my way to kill NPCs.
Unless, they try to kill you first, which is fair.
They started it.
Unless they have maws.
That's not a deal breaker.
No ostrich. Oh, I'll read chat later. Thank you,
It was
chat.
a decloaking, proselytizing ostrich, I believe.
Did someone drop that as an NPC? Because I'll
Yeah.
need to process that. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's Arcane the Sage. Of course it is. Okay. Well, chat, we're going to go on a 10-minute break, and I'm going to think about my decisions and the decisions of chat. So, Puka, it's been fun playing with you tonight. Hopefully we'll see you again at some point. Because we were chill like that. And, yeah, so... starting my 10-minute timer, and chat, we will see you in 10 minutes. And like that, your second changeling turns into a first vampire. The end. And the hedge
That's
explodes.
how it is.
The end. Game over. Anyway, no.
It's magic.
Hi, Josh. So before we get back into plot, Josh, who are you playing today?
I am playing Petruchio, also known as the team hacker, and also known as the boss. Oh, and a vampire.
And she might not always be the same person.
Let alone
I
the
think
same
she's
gender.
always the same person, but
Let
we
alone
may
the
have different opinions.
Let alone the same gender, the gender expression, because basically, once homophobia and transphobia just sort of disappeared into the ether of bullshit, that I'm sure is some kind of mage realm or something, the bullshit realm. Everyone in the society is as gender fluid as they want to be, because gender is a construct. As I was telling my players, I realized that in that case, 6,000 years in the future, all the genders and all the gender expressions now have their own micro expressions, which means I don't have to justify what an NB or man or woman or gender fluid looks like, or acts like, or talks like, because their micro expressions just peg them as that today. And I am free from this bullshit, which we send to the mage bullshit realm. If everyone's okay with this theory.
In the real world, if you're speaking Japanese, this exists.
Yeah, that's the other thing is it sucks. English just sucks. I kind of wish I spoke other languages than English fluently, because then this might be easier to just, English sucks. English sucks. Why English? But so, micro expressions undercuts all the bullshit. Back to the bullshit realm. Be the gender you want to be. Be the gender you are, and tell society to fuck off. Unfortunately, then you become a supernatural, and society gets on your case for something all new, and it's like, oh no, when can we banish this to the realm of mage bullshit? Oh, that's just realm of mage bullshit. That's just my thing now. Haha. Anyway. So yes, Petruchio will be going by she, her this evening, because Petruchio is gender fluid. Yep. And I mean, once you're a vampire, it's like... Well, I don't know.
Hardly matters.
I mean, the whole argument of biological sex is bullshit also. But vampires don't even reproduce the same way. Like, all vampires are effectively asexual reproduction.
You're right.
And that's not even getting into clan shimisi, which I don't think is a thing in NWoD, but I will double check, because now I want to. Because they're fun. Anyway.
Vampires reproduce like viruses, sort of?
Yeah, more or less. Vampirism is a virus. That works. So, Petruchio, your employees went off because the scary priest of the Church of the Weird asked them to look for the non-scary priest who has disappeared. and it happened apparently Wednesday evening, and it is only Friday afternoon, so the 48-hour thing hasn't kicked in yet. So the cops are not yet looking for them. But just to refresh the audience, whether or not Petruchia knows this, basically the local Church of the Weird, which is kind of a puny institution compared to A, the local courts, the local changeling courts, B, the Church of the Weird in any other system. Here they're kind of small and puny. So some of the local church members think this scary lady from out of town might have done in their priest to take over, and she's just like, what? Come on. Why would I do that? I'm not even sure I want to be here. Which is why she has asked our protagonists to help out. Since she saw them, take out, or she has found out that they took out a Thurzaz that time. So she's like, clearly these are people who might be able to help me.
Remind me not to let Dune do publicity anymore.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
mean, we
the
have people for that, but
that is the downside of the Wolfblood Mafia, is, like, Dune beat up a Thurzaz / True Fae entity alien, and now y'all are awesome. Whoops. Maybe I'll make you buy fame. That'll be fun.
You can give it to us for free.
Yeah,
It's a
or
two-edged sword.
just make it a GM controlled stat like other stuff I do. Anywho, so Petruchia, you have heard of your cohorts running off and huh?
Sure. So I was previously handling some business of my own, which is why I couldn't join them. But having dealt with that, I think I'm going to head over and join my employees. I think while I'm on the way over, I'm gonna. I hear they're looking for it. Orchard, are they still looking for this person? Have they found them?
They have not yet found them,
Um,
but they do seem to have a trail in the hedge. If you wish to join them, I could lead you towards a local hedge gate, although I'm not sure how you would get through on your own as a kindred.
yeah, I'm not sure I can get through on my own. I think I would need a guide.
Well, let me steer you towards the Market Town hedge gates, and then we will see where we can go from there.
That sounds excellent.
I cannot do much more than that because I am still processing all of my usual data, plus trying to still figure out the data blackout that happened Wednesday evening. Which is why I was so prompt to help with this situation, because I think it is safe to think that they are connected.
Right. Well, if you can give me what data you have, I will run a search while I'm on the way over, and maybe something will turn up that'll be a useful clue they haven't found yet.
I am also already searching the CCTV of the general area up to 4 stories, which is my usual limit. Well, usual accurate limit. On top of that, I am trying to seek out the lost person, the lost. Is that funny? I do not know. The lost person in the time after the blackout ended, but that is proving very difficult. I have not yet ruled out that he is not somewhere, but he is not yet the
with
place.
a computer plus intelligence, can I try to help Orchard's efforts here, given that Orchard's doing plenty of things?
Orchard is already like it's a lot of cameras.
Okay.
It's a lot. And you're a part of you is like hacktivist, and part of you is like vampire meh. Vampire meh. I have people for this.
I do, and one of them's Orchard right now.
Yep.
Sure, I will head over.
Yeah, Orchard. All right, there is, in front of this building, there is a searching database for term. There is a metal archway that is not iron, or else this would not work, and that is a stable trod.
Right.
Standing 5 feet away is a woman in a police officer's uniform that I can ask them to let you into the hedge gate.
Yes, but I think I will need a guide. Is there anyone local you think who could use the money, 1, and 2, would make an acceptable guide through the hedge to where we need to go? I have no interest in getting lost in the hedge. That seems like a terrible plan.
The hedge side of Eden City is remarkably stable, thanks to the upkeep of the changelings who live here. However, I think this might be a question for the emergency services officer
Absolutely.
rather than myself. I can link to a database of many people offering to be guides for locals, but that might take a while to set up with you. And it
Well, I
seems
will
time
talk
is
to
of
her,
the
thank you.
essence here.
Quite. So I will approach the woman with emergency services.
Yeah, she's sort of a petite kind of woman, kind of short, and she's just like, "Oh, can I help you, sir?"
Ma'am. Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Oh, I'm ruining my own game. Can I help you, ma'am?
oh, I'm looking for some friends who've gone into this hedge gate looking for somebody. Do you know if there's anyone who could possibly guide me to where they might be?
Well, we're not. Well, I can see you're not a changeling. We're not
not.
usually pro putting other people in the hedge unless they're. Oh wait, sorry. And she kind of holds her earpiece a bit. Okay, Orchard just told me you're in this investigation, so
As I said, I have some people already in it. I figured I might as well see if they need any help.
all right. I don't. I kind of have to stay on my beat. But I can lead you through the gate and then see who's there.
That'll be lovely.
Because we also have hedge patrols. Because I mean, it's just safer that way. Okay.
I'm smoking a cigar while we're out walking.
And this officer just leads you through. Basically, she kind of she starts walking through this noises. And chat told me nothing, so whoever gave us oh, someone's following. Thank you for the follow. So many noises, so much ADHD. Hello, Nova Kid. Nice to meet you. Anyway,
Class, do you smoke things in addition to the various other things, methods of injecting things into your
Yeah, you're
bloodstream?
smoking a cigar. I'm smoking something.
I'm just saying you could smoke like a grown-up.
I could. There's no fun in that.
You might be surprised.
so Patricio, this nice police officer walks you through the hedge, and as you get about halfway through this just, one of those little, hoopy things with the vines growing through it. The vines suddenly get a lot thicker, and suddenly you are in the hedge. And again, a place where everything is more vibrantly colored, and yet you sort of look down at yourself and you are somehow paler. It is a little weird. Both more vibrant, but like more vibrantly pale.
Yay.
You see your
My
reflection in a
nature is
window.
more apparent.
Yes, you see your reflection in a window. Your eyes look more darkly sunken. Your teeth look a little bit bitey, a little bit sharper than they do in the mundane world. You're like, okay, this is happening. Which Patricio may have been in the hedge before. This isn't that weird.
I mean, we do have a hedge gate, the ship that we're trying to rebuild.
Yep. Hedge. And you smell smoke and and it smells so much more vibrantly like smoke. You kind of, and you see Klaus and Holiday walking along, following something.
Oh, that's helpful.
We will say that Sungrazer basically got a call and had to go fulfill, and we'll say someone called in a favor. And they were like, can you guys handle this? Because I gotta go. And they just poof.
Which may explain why they're so close to this hedge gate.
And you see,
Hey.
you've worked with Sungrazer before. They are a ship pilot, captain-ish. It's weird calling someone the captain of a ship when they fly alone, but yeah, it's technically true. And they're just like, oh hey, yeah, they're over there. and through the hedge gate. And the cop's like, oh, well, I see you're, or if those are the people you're looking for, because only one of them is a changeling, I'll leave you to it.
They are indeed. Thank you very much. You're very
Okay.
helpful.
Welcome, ma'am. Have a nice day. Or good luck with your investigation.
Thank you.
And she pops back through the hedge gate. And again, this is you, Petruchio. You're old enough that you've heard tales of the hedge and how it, it's cute until it's not. But this here, it's very orderly and well. The hedge, like you see changelings actively working on keeping the hedge trimmed and upkeep and cleaning things up and picking things up off the street like litter, but they're like smoke and cloud and spider web and beer can, and it's okay. It's the hedge. It's hedge bullshit. But yeah, you see your friends,
Sure.
or you see your employees.
Well, employee and contractor/associate, since Holiday is not in any way accepted my job offer, as I recall.
I have a lot of things going on.
Yes. Holiday, Klaus, how are things going?
It's sure going.
Petruchio looks so vampy.
Subtle. It's a good look on
Yeah, the hedge seems to not like subtle.
you. Okay.
It's really annoying if you ask me.
Speaking of,
Would you like an umbrella?
the sun
So we don't
doesn't
have an
hurt.
old world sun here.
There is no sun. It's just, the sky is sort of greenish with rainbows.
Yeah, but if you're wandering around with an umbrella, people aren't going to be paying attention to the fact that you look like a vampire.
It's not like the people who aren't supposed to know don't already know.
Okay. Class, do you have your knuckles in case something gets handsy?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
I hope it doesn't. I don't know how well I can deal with that, but you know.
We'll find out in about 20 minutes, I think.
Oh, great.
And again, Holiday, you go another couple of pretty wide city blocks following this trail, and you're still here in this well-manicured area of the hedge that looks almost the carbon copy. Not even like, actually no, it would be mirror reflected. So it is kind of like a mirror reflection of Eden City, but with more greenery. That still is more well manicured than you've seen in this much of a hedge, unless this entire neighborhood is just a hollow.
That's not impossible.
Not impossible. Little strange.
It's unlikely, but it's not impossible.
Oh yeah. Someone's playing with Insta filters. Yeah, the hedge is just one big Insta filter for hedge. And as Petruchio as Petruchio walks, you get a sense that there's a cloak billowing behind them, but there isn't. It's there and it's not there.
I can almost see it.
Goodness.
So are the plants really happy that I'm radiating the amount of heat that I'm throwing off, or are they not happy that I'm throwing off as much heat?
Oh, bits. Thank you, Nova Kid. The
As long as they don't start suddenly
'Cause
talking in a movie accent.
My mantle's running at full tilt, so I'm radiating 25, 30 degrees hotter than normal temperature around me. So are these plants happy that it's hotter, or are they not as happy that it's hotter?
Depends on the plant.
Okay.
The hardier things like vines and thorny hedges are just sort of like, yeah, come at me, bro. You walk past a fern looking and it kind of like, but you keep walking past.
So we're in the future, so nobody knows where Transylvania is, right? They just call it a movie vampire accent.
Sometimes
it has a completely different context.
So the Transylvanian system, Transylvania 5000. No, I'm mixing my references now, and I don't care.
You've lost me. It's fine.
It's okay. I'm old.
We're not going to the planet Transylvania right now.
Oh, and you guys get another player +1. So you are now up to 13.
Oh, that's as many as you have. Or who was the last time I checked?
I am down to 8, I think.
I
Wow,
think
you
these
rolled
birds were trying
dice.
to kill me last time. Yeah.
Feeling a bit tepesh. Oh, Goth, I'm so tepeshed.
Do we need to go see Dr. Alucard? Or Dr. Acula?
I think I'm gonna go see myself out now.
What? This is a recent cartoon.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, Goth, I'm so tepeshed. Okay. So as you continue following, and Shirky, you see that there's basically a trail of splinters and like little bits of wood. And you're like, nothing big enough to be a stake. So you're like, oh, okay.
Well, that's good.
Because that is something #Von True Life you would check. But it leads you into, so you get to the end of this block and the city opens up, and while there is still no sun, you do get a sense of out of the shadow of just wall to wall of just wall to wall buildings. That this place is brighter, more rainbowy, more light reflective. Petruchio, you actually feel the light is making you a little uncomfortable. It does not hurt you and does not cause penalties, but it's as if some part of your vampire psyche was like, this is very bright light. This is, the platonic ideal of sunlight. I don't know how to respond to this, but it doesn't seem to be hurting me. A little weird, a little strange, but, hedge bullshit.
But can I step into it, or it's just, it feels uncomfortable?
Some part of it's not it's almost more emotionally, if you still have emotions, uncomfortable.
Of course I have emotions.
It feels uncomfortable, but not physically.
So I'm trying to stick to the shadows.
It's kind of what you would rather be doing, but it looks like this trail is leading you into an open air market. And thinking about the mirror reverse of Market Town, there would be a big open air market here, because that's what the neighborhood's named after, or what the section is named after.
I will in fact put on a visor, a shaded visor.
Put on a hat.
After all, since we apparently have a bunch of fame, having something that provides a semblance of anonymity would be useful anyway.
I was gonna say, do I have like sunglasses on my person?
Do you have a black baseball cap with a white embroidered Von True clan symbol? Sorry, class. What were you? I was trying to be funny. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, do I have like sunglasses on my person?
Oh, sure. I tell you can have guns whenever you want to. You can have sunglasses.
Produce sunglasses for Petruchio.
It's not even nighttime, so it works.
Oh no, of course I don't. This is Petruchio. I pull out a piece of fabric out of my jacket pocket and shake it, and it turns into a wide-brimmed hat.
I'll allow it. Oh, so you got the pretty sun hat. So she's doing the witches from the American Horror Story series that I still haven't seen because there's a lot going on.
Neither have we.
So you've now gone to Southern Belle Goth with your wide-brimmed hat.
Sure.
It's like, hello.
You said that this was a mirrored reflection of the market town that we were at.
Yes. Once you've been walking it a while and thinking about it, and the streets are sometimes named the same thing where there is a street sign, and it's weird.
Can I make an educated guess that we're walking in the direction of the theater where the Church of the Weird is?
I would make you roll for that.
My eidetic memory, since this is basically just a mirrored reflection of the city.
I do not have your sheet up. Why do I not have your sheet up?
Bad GM. Native magic.
I dare say this is the definition of streetwise.
What's her intelligence?
Your intelligence? You have an intelligence of 2.
No, I was asking which one do I want to use? Which one do you
Oh.
want me to use? What's your intelligence?
I would say this is a wits roll,
Okie doke.
but you get a bonus for your eidetic memory.
Okay, so +2. 5 + 7. Okie doke. I got a 9.
Yeah, that with that's fine. Yeah, you kind of plotting it backwards in your head and forwards in your head, and it's, you're a changeling. You exist in
Multiple
8 or
numbers.
9 different dimensions at any given time, and you are definitely not going in the direction of the theater.
Okay.
You are, in fact, going further out towards the kind of outskirts of Market Town.
Okay.
Like, you've been walking a while, a lot of city blocks, and you are pretty far out.
Do I know where the priest is a member of a specific court? And I don't remember which one it is. I, as a player, do not remember which one he's in.
Let me see if I, as a GM, wrote it down. Because that would be, like, super helpful, Chris, if you wrote this
It's
down.
not the Autumn Court, because it's not my court, and it wasn't Sungrazer's court. So I don't remember if he was Dawn or Winter. Or their cosmic equivalent. Because I think Sungrazer's Autumn, and I'm Nova.
Oh, that's right. I think I said he was a spring court.
Yeah. Are we headed towards where they hang out? No, because they hang out in College Town, because that's where they're headquartered at.
Well, technically, the seasonal courts weirdly took over Riverside, which is the rich people area. It's the diurnal courts, so dawn, dusk, day and night courts are more College Town. In part because the Dawn Court lives on hope. They are ridiculously powerful here, and where is there more hope than College Town? All these idealistic young minds.
Okay.
Waiting to be yummed.
Okay.
Yum, 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 yum. So yes, and so this trail of wooden bits seems to go through this open air market.
Not focusing on the market right now. That's not the priority for today. We'll be back to visit this market another time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's market going on. There's also a stall that says Coffee Vampire. And there is they're not a kindred. Petruchio, you near them and see this, and your beast does not leap, so it's like, oh, that's not a kindred. Holiday, it is some kind of creepy changeling. They're not trying to look like a vampire, which is rather offensive in a world where kindred are both all powerful behind the scenes and also very put upon by the government. But they are definitely, very hot goth and serving all sorts of weird brews to people for both money and more esoteric things.
And we just lost Klaus.
Yup. I'll be right back.
What's weird is that you can't really hear them. They look really excited and they're bouncy, but it's like they must not be speaking any louder than a whisper. Or something, which weird changeling stuff. I don't know if Slewer in this system. I don't care. I want a Slewer. My game, my rules. Surely something in new changeling resembles a Slewer. But yeah, and she's just in her cute, hot topic, gothy kind of plastic leather outfit. Or no, just sort of hippie goth, but with like a little fake, one of those tops that has the laces like it's a fake corset, but it's not really a corset. And she's just handing out coffee and being smiley and bubbly. Yes, can I help you?
Please, I need caffeine.
Okay, how much?
A lot.
Okay. that'll be, and she looks at you and kind of, her eyes sort of glaze over. 10 credits, or the memory of your first patient.
Oh, that's a wild price.
It's really wild caffeine.
I heard the credits.
I think I'm gonna play out safe and give you credits this time, but
And the voice in your head says,
Fascinating.
why are you playing it safe? Do it, I want to see what happens, because I'm in your brain.
Ask her how much coffee she'll give you for the voice in your head.
hold on. Second question. How much caffeine could I get for the voice in my head?
Ooh. Let me have a look.
You can really steal yourself. I'm just saying.
And she, again,
I never said I'd consume it all at once.
she basically takes, there are these things we had when I was a kid, which is like a mini kaleidoscope, where it's just like a little plastic blue, like triangular horn, and one end of it, the small end is just blank, is empty, and the other end is just faceted glass. And it's sort of like a really cheap kaleidoscope kind of thing, and she's looking at it, and just, I don't know what that is. So unfortunately, that is a no deal. There might be other people in the market who can identify it, but I don't. I mean, it's not mundane, and it's not Hedge born.
Okay. It was worth a shot.
I mean, I can
I'll
see
hand
you're
her the
I can see you're a
credits.
mage, but it's not mage. Well,
It sure isn't.
mages have other things to deal with. I'm not an expert in mage stuff. But okay.
The only thing I can say for certain is it's a pain in the ass. If it's not of interest to you, then...
I mean, there's interest and there's value. I'm not even sure I could break that out.
Fair enough.
But okay, 10 credits.
I will give her 10 credits, and I will enjoy my coffee.
Barista is a changeling, I assume?
Coffee.
The barista is a changeling.
Yeah.
She is just very clearly more changeling-y here. Like, basically, you look at Holiday and you see his seeming, because you're in the hedge. And that thin mortal veneer does not apply here. Holiday, what do you look like?
In
your seeming form?
Let me check real quick, because I have it written down.
Verbing nouns. Everything is turned up to 11, yes.
Let's see.
Nova Kid feels a spiritual connection to the barista. Yes. NWoD. I miss it. Sometimes.
Let's see. Holiday's seeming is a much larger, much more broad-shouldered version of himself, with thicker, heavier muscles and a broad back. Skin is covered in tiny, almost unreadable script, covering all sorts of various strange and bizarre minutiae.
Does he look like Drax, basically?
No, because he's got white hair and he's got a blue eyes, and he looks more human. He's about Drax's build, though. And major sections of his skin have tablets that look like grave markers. Yeah.
He's a man made of tombstones, named Holiday. Okay, I see where this is going and what movie I have to watch.
Totally missed that.
You don't. My initials are JH.
I don't know that reference yet because I haven't seen the movie.
You could literally Google that the first name.
You could look at actual history.
Yeah, it's not even just a movie.
Oh, okay. I'm less good at cowboy. Holiday, I'm like, this is a cowboy thing. I'm bad at cowboy.
It took me until this moment to put it all together, but
yeah, me too.
I'm there.
But got it.
Anyway, we'll get to the gaping gaps in my nerd knowledge later.
That's okay.
But yes, Klaus now has the
But his
equivalent.
only doctorate is being a JD.
Oh, and this is all in
Doc Holiday's is only being a dentist, so close enough.
And now I feel like a bad nerd because this was all in Masters of the Metaverse.
Okay. I I did not learn it from Metaverse. I learned it from a random children's book I picked up.
Anywho, so yes, Klaus, you now have the coffee equivalent of a big gulp,
Yeah.
and it is basically just coffee. Well, it's basically a big gulp of espresso, which is even more vibrantly flavored that you are in the Hedge,
Hell yeah.
with hints of cinnamon and unfortunately glitter. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's not an experience if there isn't something exotic in it.
It's
And
like
if the exotic
yeah.
flavor happens to be glitter because I'm in the Hedge, that's just the price I'm paying.
tastes like evergreen and glitter. And you look down at it, and coffee, I've noticed, has kind of oils that are almost kind of rainbowy, unless it's I'm doing something weird to my coffee, which is also possibly true. Kind of almost looks sometimes like a sheeny oil slick, and it is just more vibrantly rainbowy oil slick on top of your coffee, and you're just like, alright, woohoo! It is sadly not as explosive as when you mixed blue liquid with purple liquid.
Well.
You mean the day you almost set something on fire?
Listen, that
It's
was
the-
earlier today,
I'm not.
and
judging.
there's time yet for arson.
I'm aware, but I'm not judging much.
I've got the morality chart up and running. Do all the arson you want.
Oh, is that what was suggested that it was a morality check?
So yeah, there are people selling memories and experiences and items and magical weapons and just teeth and fluff and boot soles without the rest of the boot attached. It is a weird place. I
Anyone
mean, it
selling-
is the weird. So
Is anyone selling information?
there's definitely an information booth that is just marked information booth. And there's just a little wizened in a blue suit sitting behind it, going like nodding at people and smiling, and little wizened. Looks completely innocuous and could not possibly do anything bad to Avantru in its home turf. Yeah.
Oh, sure. But in the meanwhile, these my employees and contractor have a much better idea of what we're looking for, and maybe one of them should approach the information booth.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're
But
still following the trail of splinters, and that is still going. Like, it's gotten to...
You both wander off, and I'm like, trail.
I'm not
Trail right here.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Well,
Do not get
you
distracted by
might want to
market.
check
We'll
with the
be here
information
all
booth.
month.
The poor...
I'm following you. You can follow the trail if you want.
Following, grabbing Klaus, following trail.
Voodoo Lukarinsky is like, if it don't melt a spoon, it ain't coffee. Oh, she melted a spoon into it. That was part of the preparation. You're not sure what the spoon was made of. It looked like
Klaus's eyes
aluminum and
got
chocolate.
massive, just
Yeah, the spoon was made of glitter.
She brought out what looked like a chocolate-covered aluminum spoon, and it just melted into it, and it's like, ah.
I'm imagining that I'm just like sipping at my coffee and you're just like dragging me behind you by the collar of my shirt.
Klaus, there is so much cool shit here. Klaus, buy something, says Min. Klaus, buy something. Buy something.
No, I'm enjoying my
Buy
coffee.
something else.
After we find the priest, I'll bring you back here, and we'll find something you can buy. Then I'll drive you to your
Don't
appointment.
humor the thing.
Yes, humor me. I am
Shut
humorous.
up.
Priest, why do we care so much?
So what?
What's the deal with this priest? Why do we care so much?
Because it gives us a way into extracting a whole bunch of supernats under threat in the system, in an adjacent system.
Pluton?
No, Pluton's another nut to crack.
Fair.
We'll crack that nut one day.
Yes, ask me after game. I wrote down the system somewhere in my notes.
I know, and I can't remember. It's
Basically, Petruchio, you have heard on the news there is another system where basically all the Supernats are getting off the main planet and onto a less habitable planet. because that system wants to join the core, and so they have made it illegal to be a supernat. So like, fuck it, we'll just go to this other planet, which is still technically within the system, but maybe they'll just leave us alone here. And it's the government, according to the news, their government is considering all options, which is not, in Vontrue speak, is terrible. Is a terrible omen. So, and also as the head of an underground railroad, you have probably also started sending a couple text messages like, we might need to get some people out.
This is going to be a part of our remit. How many Supernats are under threat? Is this hundreds, thousands?
You do not know offhand, but you can start asking through the dark web, the various interconnected dark webs, and to get a head count.
Sure.
Or you could ask Holiday, since he did that last week. I have friends in strange places.
Sure. Do we have a sense of how many people are under threat?
You mean the people who are in need of dental extraction?
Yeah.
The priority call seems to be between 10 to 15, but the long-term process could be several hundred.
Yeah, it's doable. Okay.
Current events. The Limo system.
The one.
So Logoi is sort of the big habitated planet, habitable planet. Oh my god, why can't I say this word? I said it 5 minutes ago!
You got it that time, you're fine.
Spoony angst. And it's moved to one of the barely habitable planets, Dysnomia, where they have like a shipyard and some domes for habitation. Said it that time. And, right, so from what you've heard, a lot of supernats who presumably need to consume food have started building more domes, and some of them are for farming, but it's a bit like a Mars colony, only the planet is like an ochre rather than a red. I think ochre is yellow.
Yes.
Is ochre yellow? Thank you.
It's kind of a weird mossy yellow.
It's been a week for me.
That's
Yeah.
Anywho, give me a give me a mashup of all the times I say anywho. Oh, supercut. Anyway, Holiday, as you are walking down trying to get your supernat buddies to like listen to reason and like follow you and not do weird shit in the hedge, which is, you know, sometimes a problem when you're in the hedge, is people's attention spans just shut down and it's ooh shiny. But unfortunately, that is a natural side effect of the hedge.
Yeah, I'm aware, but it's like...
So you are kind of at your wits' end, like, oh my god, just follow the trail, we have trails. When you glance over at one of the tables, where you see this very large, very wide, thick silver wristwatch, like a silver Rolex. And you can't tell why, but you feel an immediate connection to this item.
Okay, you two, trail. I'll be right back.
Trail.
After I just told you all you can't buy shit,
You
I
just
have to go
told us
buy
not
shit.
to go off the trail. Fine.
I could explain to you why your brain chemistry is not working correctly here, or you could just listen to me, since I'm a changeling and you aren't. Your choice. Meanwhile, I'm over at the table.
Brain chemistry.
Min says,
He
oh,
thinks
you should...
I run on brain chemistry.
Min butt space is all, oh, you totally need... This is the perfect opportunity to start lost-splaining. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You're a mage.
No,
You're a
no.
mage. You're the assholes of the galaxy. Lost-splain.
No.
Changeling
No.
splain. Do it, do it, do it,
No.
do it, do it, do it. Well, you know, our brain
I'm sorry,
chemistry is
Patricio.
changeling.
I'm sorry
because
you
of the
have to
forces
listen to
of the weird-
this.
And you can't, no, you guys can't hear this. You people can't hear this. Only Klaus does. And,
yeah, but
and
I'm just
so
like
it
talking
is.
at the air.
Which is, you know, you're not the only person here doing that. So, okay.
I'm still apologizing to Patricio because she knows what's up.
So really, Mr. and Min Butt Space, You know, Mr.
Fine with
Holiday,
me. I can't hear it.
our brain chemistry is affected by the hedge and blah blah, and just starts going on this relatively, it doesn't sound wrong necessarily. It does sound like, okay, Minbutt Space maybe knows something about the hedge or is just bullshitting because it sounds funny to them. It is very distracting. Anyway, Holiday, you approach a table, and there is some kind of elemental, perhaps. They have a very rough, sandy kind of, I'm missing another word in my vocabulary. Pattern? No. Tactile pattern. Their skin... Huh? Texture. Thank you. Their skin has a sandy texture, and their eyes are kind of just blank white, but you can tell they're looking at you.
What's up?
Hey, what can I do for you?
Watch.
Which one?
The silver one.
Okay. Kind of looks you over. And he consorts with a little dove that is sitting on his shoulder, and he goes coo coo, and he mutters something. Roo, roo. Holiday, I want you to roll something a little tangential.
I love tangential. It's my favorite thing.
I'll allow wits occult or wits politics, whichever is higher.
Oh, it's gonna be what's politics. Okay.
For changelings, I would say this is politics, with a dash of occult. But
Okay. What's politics? Is it contract related?
no.
15.
Okay. So you're talking to this guy, and you're starting the process of wheeling and dealing when you realize, so there are a few different kinds of hedge creatures, in which, sometimes you consider changelings to be hedge creatures, sometimes not. And it's debatable whether the true Fae are, or if they're from Arcadia, and it's just, it's weird. It's weird. It's strange. Of course it's weird. It's the weird.
It is unusual.
It is unusual. What you've noticed is that you've seen changelings, you've seen hedge beasts. You have not seen any hobgoblins, which are sort of the sentient...
Should be here.
Yeah, I mean, they're called goblin markets, generally because they're, in most places, staffed by hobgoblins, or hobs, which are basically like the sentient... Like, you've got hedge beasts, which are animals that may be kind of intelligent, but not. And that squirrel was rather helpful. But, your hobgoblins are more like the creatures Sarah meets in the labyrinth that are clearly not human. And there are none here. Everyone you've seen collecting stuff in the hedge, which they generally sell in goblin markets, that's usually a hob thing. And selling at the goblin market is, like, you've seen, booths with changelings staffing them for whatever reason, but usually there are hobs. There are none here. And you have not seen one since you've been here. And huntsmen do not count as hobs.
That's not good.
That's definitely different. So he talks to the little bird, and he's like, all right, it costs the memory of your first command.
I have a counteroffer.
Mm-hmm.
This is a gun that I nearly killed a huntsman with this morning.
Oh shit, huntsman?
Nearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was that the gun or was that you?
The gun put the bullets in the thing,
Yeah, but you're Novacourt.
but the bullets went out of here into that.
Yeah, I've
Whether or not I'm powering the thing up. Would you like to remember me of the fight with the huntsman?
Nah, that's not really valuable enough.
Like the first command I ever gave, or my first actual entire command mission?
Your first command mission.
Can't do that. Still working on that mission. I would be willing to share with you the memories of the day we dropped onto the last day of the Silent War.
All right.
Share, not give. You can't keep them, but I will share them with you.
That is sadly not how Goblin Market works, my friend.
What else do I have?
That I would be willing to trade for that, but it's for keeps.
How about my daughter's lullaby?
Okay, roll persuasion and manipulation.
I'm usually pretty good at that. Do I get a benefit for fast talking?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what it is, but I'm sure you do.
Resonance, or no, manipulation and
It's your sheet. You tell me what it is.
7, 8, 9. This is arbitration, though.
Yeah. Guess
Okay, so my specialization will apply. I got a 21.
All right. So the memory of your daughter's lullaby.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And he's like, all right, deal. And he kind of holds open what kind of looks like a compact mirror that's in the shape of a seashell.
Mhm.
And you're kind of remembering it one last time as it kind of flows out. If anyone's watching, you see this kind of weird trickle of like light white energy kind of go from Holiday's head into this little compact, and
If the
then it is gone. And you know,
song is actually playing, Klaus and Petruchio have heard that song.
they cannot hear it.
Okay.
They sort of see some kind of weird magical transfer of energy happen. You assume magic, and then just clop. And with that, you know you used to know it.
Mhm.
You no longer know it. And he, hands over the watch.
Excellent. Slide the watch on.
Mhm.
Pleasure doing business. Back to work.
Strange things happen when you buy up your weird.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. So yes, Holiday just bought this like thick silver Rolexy looking watch. Petruchio, as a rich person and a vampire, you do not recognize this as any particular designer brand, but it's clearly well made. So maybe it's like a one of a kind original or something, or Hedge bullshit.
Yep, one of those.
Could go either way.
So
And-
meanwhile, I think we were following the trail.
Yeah.
So you bought a watch.
It was important at the time.
Is it still important?
We'll see.
Okay.
Is it important to the right and the now? Probably not. Is it important to something that will happen later? Very likely, yes.
Okay.
Oh, is weird the changeling power stat in this game?
Yeah, WYRD.
Got
That's
it.
why it's Church of the Weird, because they are focused on building that up.
When I put the watch on, did it start working?
It does.
What time is it keeping?
So you look at it now and you don't see numbers. You see sigils. If the sigils are similar to what the clock would look like back in the mundane world, it would be about 4 p.m., so about keeping time with where you were outside.
Okay. Excellent. So there's a trail we're following. Zing.
Zing! Yes, you follow the trail through the marketplace. It's a bit, things are a bit scuffed up and mushed around because, well, it's a high traffic area, but it still, gets to the other side and keeps going. And again, you keep following it, and you pass by kind of the outskirts of another open air market after a few more blocks, but you're still in the near Hedge. You have not.
I'm picking up one of these splinters. I'm
Mhm.
gonna chew on it for a minute.
Okay. It
Am I
tastes
getting
like
the
banality and boredom,
okay?
but that really fits in with the apartment you saw, to be honest.
Okay. Just checking.
Tastes like this furniture just didn't want to exist anymore. It's like, I am so
I'm
boring.
making sure it's a furniture, not the piece of like a crafted or another changeling who was injured, and he's just leaking parts as we're going along.
No, it is. Honestly, this tastes like how you would imagine mundane wood splinters would taste in the Hedge. Just
Okay.
more intensely mundane. And now this little piece of wood is in the Hedge and is like, this is what I could have been. But I am the most boring, not even interesting enough to be flat pack furniture ever made.
It's
You-
okay, little piece of furniture. You did your job.
Tell me my existence meant something.
You were a good table.
Classic voice in your head's like, who the fuck is he talking to? What is even happening here?
Klaus is just cracking up at that
It's
little
not just me.
like interaction, just like the fact that my lovely AI intruder decided to pipe up like, you don't get to talk, you motherfucker.
Why am I even here? With you people?
You're right, we could totally just
Following
amuse
a trail
ourselves.
of breadcrumbs made of wood.
You're
Yeah,
here
because they
because
were
no one
breadcrumbs.
else is sane.
If they were
We're going to eventually
eat.
follow this trail, and we're going to get to a house, which is made entirely of meat.
I don't think so. That would be ridiculous. There's too many wild animals in here for there to be a meat house. Other than the distinct lack of hobs running around, we're a little concerned. That's a little concerning.
Well, honestly, hobs are their own form of danger when they want to be, or if that's their nature, but yeah, it is a little disconcerting that they're not here.
There should be, we should have seen at least one in the market if we hadn't seen one someplace else.
Yeah,
Admittedly, at this point, like the children, I would find the house made of meat kind of tempting, at least if it had blood in it.
house made of blood. Let me think about that. No, next game. Next game of changeling bullshit. House made of blood.
Stop, you're giving her ideas.
Why do I even give the GM ideas? Lisa is correct. The answer is because it's fun.
Custom NPC, Petruchio's chatty childhood imaginary friend. Well, I'll just drop that in. So inexplicably,
Gotta get Petruchio someone to talk to too.
so Petruchio, in the place where you grew up, it was very commonplace for children of your family and your class to have basically a personal AI assistant from birth onwards, even if you didn't
Of
quite know
course.
how to use it until you could talk. What
Oh.
did yours? And a lot of them look like small animals. Sometimes they look like other children. Sometimes they're more abstract. What did yours look like?
That's a good question.
Oh, god damn it, Fadir. Okay, we have that too.
I think Lisa wants mine to have looked like a cat bus, apparently. Kitten bus.
Okay, the cat bus
Amazing.
didn't talk, did it? It just sort of went meow.
It's true.
Okay, so
Um,
walking like a little caterpillar on its many fluffy legs, you see up comes a tiny representation. You all see this of Petruchio's childhood AI personal assistant. And it kind of like a caterpillar, its little legs go and it just crawls right up your leg and whatever you're wearing and right onto your shoulder. Which
I'm
Petruchio,
not
you,
hallucinating that, right?
Wait, is anyone else seeing this?
Petruchio,
Hey,
you
what?
understand
It's
what
real.
it's saying.
Seeing what?
You.
Stop trying to fuck with me, Holiday.
Fine, I will roll subterfuge on Holiday's attempt to claim that he doesn't see what I'm seeing here.
Do you want me to roll mine?
Sure.
Okay,
I think it's wits plus subterfuge.
Okay, I would say that you can convince him that you can't see it, but you can't convince. Well, I mean, he is a changeling. You know what? Okay, roll it.
No,
Presence
I'm
manipulation.
rolling it.
Roll it, and I'm getting out my morality chart.
I don't think anyone's trying to convince anyone that person can't see it.
So what are
I
you
did
trying?
not roll well, so I think I may be fooled by Holiday's thing.
I'm just
What is-
my exact line was see what?
Yep. So
So what, Petruchio, what are you trying to convince Holiday of?
I'm not trying to convince him. This was a wits. The subterfuge can. That's why it's wits plus subterfuge, not
Okay.
manipulation plus subterfuge.
Okay.
That was a 10 on. Really? You don't see it?
13.
Yeah, no. Okay, I guess that's it.
How may I be of assistance? Petruchio hears. The rest of you just hear.
But did I though? Did I?
I don't care. I'm just staring at it while, continuing to sip at my coffee.
Trail of breadcrumbs.
Klaus, that's trippy as fuck. I want one. Take it. Just take it.
I want 6. They're adorable.
Meanwhile, we're still not going to get to the main encounter tonight because it's almost 10.
This is fine.
So, see, chat, throw what you want at me. I will make it work. How may I be of assistance today? And gives you your real childhood name, which I forget what it was.
You never actually gave me a first name.
Oh.
But I'm gonna go with Bryce.
Bryce.
Hello,
Hello, Bryce. How may I be of assistance
gender
today?
neutral name. Was it Bryce or Blaine? It might have been Blaine, actually.
Blaine. Yeah.
What did I actually put on the sheet? Damn it, I didn't put it on.
I'll say Blaine. I like Blaine.
Yeah, Blaine's good.
Hello, Blaine. How may I assist you today? And it's to you. It sounds exactly the same. It is. This is decades of memory. You almost feel smaller with this little guy on your shoulder.
I'm just trying to follow this trail right now. I don't suppose you can help.
How helpful is this NPC?
I don't know.
This NPC is not. Unfortunately, I cannot scan ahead, for I do not understand how the CCTV cameras in this place work. But I can be a companion to you, as I was in days of yore.
Sure.
Would you like me to sing a song?
No, that's all right.
I'm just like slowly getting closer, just inching closer, trying to look at this thing.
Would you like me to send your parents an email of false information of where you should be right now?
Not right now. That's okay.
It says.
I'm still walking.
Yeah, it's still there, and you're chewing the piece of wood that is just taste of banality and regret.
And Klaus can clearly see this. Holiday apparently can't.
Holiday
Claims he
simply
Simply not a
can't.
hedge.
There's a difference between whether or not he can see it or whether or not he's paying attention to it.
Oh, I know he can see it, but as far as I can tell, he can't see it.
Maybe.
Josh know.
Uh, okay, you continue on through a few more past a few more markets, but not through them, and down more city blocks until things start like it's still the hedge, it's still well manicured, but it's definitely more sparse. You walk past a building that Holiday vaguely. I think there's like some kind of big banking building conglomerate thing in this edge of town. This building is just like in the real world. You think it's just all glass. Here it is clearly all mirrors, and your mirror reflections are staring at you with varying expressions of disinterest or judgment in each mirror pane, which is okay. That's happening.
I saw for a minute. What? I'm pretty. Leave me alone.
And it's weird because your reflection does the same movements as you, but does not lose eye contact with you, even if you move your eyes away. Klaus, you also you each see this of your own reflections. Klaus, you
Yeah.
walk by and in one of them you see this weird like halo of energy around your head, but you blink and then it's gone.
Okay. I'm gonna like stop and walk back, and it's gonna show me nothing new, I suppose.
No, now it's just sort of looking at you judgmentally, like what, like basically giving you the "Are you a dumbass?" look, which is not a look you like to get. Well, not a look that many people like to get. I assume Klaus does not like it.
Holiday, I don't like it here.
Yeah, nobody likes it here.
That's not true, Klaus. I love it here. This is trippy as fuck. Let's stay. The acanthus do it like all the fucking time. Why not you?
I'm
I
just
would
gonna
really,
close my eyes a minute and like.
I would posit that extended exposure to the hedge would probably not be good for your mental health.
What if it's so bad that it's good for your mental health? Like, what about that?
No.
I am a cat bus.
Yep, close enough.
Would you like to hear the top 40 music for today?
I never want to hear the top 40 music.
Continuing onward.
What?
Unless the trail stops here.
The trail continues. There's just
Okay.
a creepy building. Woohoo!
I'll mark that for later.
Let's carry on, shall we?
Holiday, in some of those reflections you have a watch, and in some you do not.
Wonderful. That's even better.
Guys, I love the hedge. I really love it.
Hey, Orchard, can you hear me?
Nope.
Just checking.
Why is your companion talking to his wristwatch? It is clearly not digital. One day chat will learn I am happiest when you give me a cat to play as an NPC.
Hey, the cat was Lisa's idea.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I asked you to choose it. Nova Kid noted, yes.
It's some kind of weird
Oh,
magic
no.
thing.
I do not know of magic, for it is illegal where we come from.
Is it actually? Is it really? Wasn't the Silent War around the time I was born?
Well, I mean, it is now. It was
Oh, yeah.
unfashionable in the days that you were a child, but now it is illegal.
Not here, it isn't.
Are we no longer in the core?
We are not in the core.
Oh. must adjust my database.
Look up Eden City.
EDEN?
Yes. No, IDUN.
Oh,
Possibly two N's. People vary on which one they use.
very well.
The older spelling has two N's.
Studying Eden City. There's also an Eden system. Are they related?
They are.
Very good. Anyway, you continue on, and it is about 10 o'clock, so I will say this trail of wood chips or splinters or what have you leads into... Oh wait, wrong page. This is why I read my plot in advance.
I totally want to install my cat bus terminal in the ship, in the Hedge gate.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Right?
So, oh wait, so okay, this is interesting. Thank you, past self, for writing this more explicitly. So you're following this trail of splinters until you come to a place where the hedge goes from still like it's a bit sparse now, it's a bit, kind of a dilapidated area, but there's still, well manicured hedgerows and trees and goblin fruit. More open spaces and fewer buildings. It looks like you're kind of in a more warehousey area.
Mhm.
And then you effectively walk up to a wall of thorn vines. Like this, it's like a solid thicket has encased a city block.
Intriguing.
Well, at least the thicket isn't made out of firethorn this time. It isn't, right?
It is not. It is green and black.
Relatively normal.
It is a thicket of shades of green and black. There we go. And you think it might encompass the city block, but you kind of can't see. It sort of seems to round, so you kind of see it through the distance, and then it kind of goes like that, and up, and then it goes like that, and like, well, this is a thing. You definitely getting a sense of Sleeping Beauty on steroids and LSD. Just thick, sometimes slimy ropes of green and black thorn vine twisted together, encompassing solidly some kind of space.
Well, do we have a way in then?
I have a way that might work to get in. You two might want to stand real close to me when I do this, though.
Okay.
I recommend we
Sure.
stand near the changeling, who is a
Sure,
reality
I will go-
deviant, but we are in a non-reality.
I will stand extremely close to the changeling, certainly within my normal friend distance. How close is close?
Probably uncomfortably close because they aren't taking social cues right now. Just like right up against him. Is this close
we're
enough?
So high. We're so high, Klaus.
I will pull out a seed from my coat,
Mhm.
put it in the ground in front of me, and activate Hedge Wall to create the castle of vines that expands out from me, and it will knock out anything in the way,
Okay.
and it expands out for 100 feet in every direction,
Okay.
and creates an entire wall castle full of vines and hedge plants that will sort of do what I tell them to do.
Okay.
So you're breaking one fortress with another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Does that cost glamour?
Since I planted the seed, no.
Okay. So I'll say if it requires a roll normally, for some reason it doesn't now. So it basically creates a tunnel of other vines, like very easily. Like some of these vines look like Like these are big beanstalky, like what the fuck off vines, but some of them might be blackened because they are rotting. And you smell that kind of pungent, rotten stench of rotting vegetation. So beloved on Ferenginar, because can you tell I've been watching a lot of Star Trek recently. So after it goes through this wall of greenery and decay, what do you tell it to do after that? Or is that all you wanted to accomplish?
Well, let me actually read Hedge real quick, and I'll tell you what the rest of what it does.
Because this little tunnel within, this little green tunnel within the green stuff is not thorny, so you can very easily walk through it without, losing any part of yourself without trade.
This is a shield contract. Which wall? Creates forms a castle around the changeling, sprawling out to a diameter of 10 yards per meters per dot of weird he possesses. Space constraints and the changeling's wishes to make it smaller in the real world, but in the hedge it simply plows over obstacles out to its full size.
Okay, so what it effectively does, and it's a bit bigger and stronger than you were planning on, even with your increased weird, like, what? It's a little strange. Everything's been extra strange today.
Yeah.
It effectively creates a little doorway and then obliterates this kind of rotting vine construction and replaces it with your own as it just sort of bursts outwards and all around this city block. It should not be a city block large, but somehow it is. Because plot. So it's
how I open
sploosh.
doors.
And yeah, it's just, you can walk right in. But even once you're in, you can see already kind of the insides of your castle structure also starting to rot away from the inside. Not as badly as what you were walking into from the outside, but you can see that decay starting. And as you kind of look within this space, you get a sense of why that is happening. What you see is a large building that is more or less warehouse shaped, but the windows are melting into shards, almost like candle wax, which technically window glass is an amorphous solid, I believe. There's a sort of dripping. And the bricks, the metal, and the wood are all rotting or disintegrating away into shades of rot, black and brown, slime, and dust. And it is just this rotting structure, like used to be a warehouse until something else set up shop in there, and you can hear inside. Well, you can smell the smoke of some kind of like a campfire, or maybe an oil drum or a drum fire, I should say. You don't necessarily smell burning oil, but you do smell like just the decay of old chemicals, things that have disintegrated. It is dust, it is rot. And just, you can almost taste the slime as you're looking at it. But you see kind of the smoky light of firelight through these melty, blackened windows. And it sounds like someone inside this building is having a party. And you do see that this trail of splinters leads up to a hole in the side that is probably used to be some kind of entranceway before it fell apart. And we will leave things there for today, as it is 10 p.m.
Oh boy.
Just so you're aware, this is not normal Hedge.
Okay.
But
I was
what
kind
is
of gathering
normal?
that.
This is the Hedge. What is normal here?
there are some fairly regularly standardized expectations of the hedge. This is not one of them.
There's a... Oh, goddamn, I just can't words today. There are idioms. There are common idioms and archetypes.
Yeah.
This is maybe not one of the... You don't know.
Hedge tropes.
Hedge trope. Hashtag hedge trope. All right, so Josh looks all kinds of concerned.
No. I'm yes, but no.
All right, so again, I am not. I do not have a very fixed schedule for this game. Other games maybe do better by having seasons and storylines, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm good that I was able to run game today because my body hates me. Hashtag Spoonie life. So, like, my players had a good time. We almost got to the conclusion. And yes, there will be a lot of custom NPCs for next session because I was saving them all up for the end. So yeah, y'all are... Oh, that's... I'm gonna go back through chat, and so we have Patrukio's imaginary friend, which is
Did arrive.
actually a natural occurring part of their background. Fadier,
Cappuccino Man?
Cappuccino Man, i.e. Kool-Aid Man, and Arcane said decloaking proselytizing ostrich, which you'd be surprised how applicable that is to today's plot.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And did I miss any others? Good boy, Fadier. Yes, give me nerd fodder. I mean, you know, Arcane the Sage gave us a head voice, something for Klaus that became a head voice, and I just kept it. And Bruno is still on the board. He just didn't get a chance to show up yet. Again, we'll see. I like Bruno.
I didn't see the ostrich drop, but Arcane is referring to an ostrich drop. So
Yes, I wrote that down earlier.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
Don't you worry. It'll be here when everyone's there.
Yes.
Isn't everyone worried? No one likes ostriches.
They're delicious.
Wrong
though.
game.
Ostriches are
They are.
jerks.
No, in my changeling game, it's flamingos you got to worry about because they can
No.
strip a T-Rex in 60 seconds. And it happened because Natural History Museum. I miss my changeling game. Someday I'll have the spoons to run Changeling the Dreaming again. Maybe here. You don't know. But yes, as I blather away, thank you, chat, for joining us for today's game. This has been Exit to Eden, a world of darkness in space, which is effectively NWoD in space in a far-flung future that is also kind of cyberpunky, but also has lots of ancient evils, and it's a whole thing. And we lost Earth. We don't know where it is. These are forsaken werewolves, so not having Luna is kind of a problem, and no one knows where their auspices come from. Oh well. And the hedge can't cross to the hedge of another planet because deep space is the abyss, or is similar enough to the abyss to be a symbol of the abyss, and thus is the abyss. Mixed splats games are fun and strange, and however much of a headache they are, these are the parts I love. Anywho, so if you can't tell by now, I'm Ms. Chrysala, and I have been the GM this evening, and thus every other NPC and weirdness, and thank you for playing our channel points game with the character drops, because I love playing with those, and I'm only sorry that I didn't get to more of them before the end of tonight. You lost Earth in the hedge. Maybe. Who knows? Well, they lost Earth in space. Supposedly Earth is toast, and all the remains of humanity escaped on colonial ships with some supernaturals hidden on them. And 5 vampires, one of each clan, so, you know, how conveniently in torpor for 1,000 years that it took to find the core planets. It's a whole thing. It is, this setting was developed by Mind's Eye Society. I forget what their new name is, because they just changed names again. They are a non-profit org, LARP group, and while this game is not with them, that is part of why I have not monetized the stream, because this setting was created by an NPO, So unless we're doing a monetization for charity, which might happen someday, like I don't feel comfortable taking money for a setting made by an NPO. Even if it was also developed by White Wolf, but it's like White Wolf I think published one of the idea pieces for it, but then it was MES that's like, let's make it a whole setting. Anyway, blah. I keep talking because it's late and I'm tired, and I've been brain foggy all week. So I'm the GM. Hi. Follow us. Follow me on Ms. Chrysala or at Magicfish Radio to find out when we're running game, which is usually Saturday nights at 7. It's either this or a one-shot, usually of Demon Hunters, which is a comedy of terrors, and thus like World of Darkness, but funny on purpose. But as long as I got players to play, we will run Exit to Eden because it is my own happy little corner of madness, and I loves it. And yeah, so going clockwise, Klaus, who are you in real space?
I'm Dracus in real space, and it's all fake. I don't really have anything going on other than this game once a week. You can find me on various social medias as actual Dracus, like I am in our chat here.
Woohoo! Also, I saw you use the ban hammer, or use the mod hammer. Thank you for that. I don't know what
Yes.
happened, but I thank you anyway. So
There
trust your
were a
judgment.
couple of bots that were just like doing the bot thing, so I took care of it.
Ooh. In the Hedge, chatbots could actually manifest. Chatbots in the Hedge. Someone, Josh, I'm sorry, Petruchio, who are you in real space?
So in real space, I'm Josh. On the internet, you can generally find me doing almost nothing whatsoever, but occasionally singing as Neme. That's MNEME on like Twitter and possibly I think I'm Nemex on YouTube, and various other places.
Woohoo!
And you can also find me writing once a month in the fanzine Alarms and Excursions. Unfortunately, that one costs actual money to see. Not my choice.
Okay, there was a game I had heard about. Let me see if I can find them. And Holiday, who are you when in relatively real space? Because, you know.
Zardoz at Once and Future Doctor on Twitter. I have lots of things going on. I'm usually findable on the internets in a lot of different places.
Woot! Okay. Heard about this game on kind of a bigger channel than we usually raid, but it is a lot of streamers that I have seen usually as GMs, and they are finally getting to play on the Gary Con Gaxmore channel. And, you know, I'm a GM. I know what it's like to be #always the GM. So I kind of want to raid them. What the hell is their channel name? Gary Con. Okay, so I guess it's. I don't know if is Gary Con happening this weekend, or do they just have a Twitch channel?
I think they just have a Twitch channel.
Okay, that makes sense. Forever GM problems, yeah. So it's like I feel for their plight, and it's like Abria Iyengar and some other cool people, but mostly Abria. I've seen GM like 1,800 things, and it's like, yay, you get to play. I don't know her. I just see her on Twitch. She is fun. Alright, so, I'm not even sure if we can raid them, but let's see. Well, looks like we're raiding them. Okay, chat, so thank you for coming. I hope we gave you a weird and strange distraction from your chaotic apocalypse life for a few hours. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you same Welsh bat time, same Welsh bat channel next week on Magicfish Radio. So rating, bye!